out of my system.
What did you say?
I'm not. I don't remember.
It might have gotten into recording, but well.
I sure hope it didn't.
Well, we'll see when yeah. Anyway, hello there, folks.
Hi there.
This is another episode of Würfelcast. Episode
Look, we
1.
coordinated outfits.
Oh, yes. So I don't have my hat, and I don't have around 1,000 games behind me.
Oh,
but
fair.
Anyway, this is episode 131, and today we're gonna, go through the usual episode and have a topic of the day, which is gonna be top 5 card games. We're gonna get to that later. But I didn't do. Just give me a slight moment. I forgot to do this.
Okay.
And
this. Okay.
Yes. And let's start with the first topic, which is Watcher's Babble. Here we go.
Whatever.
Yeah, and here we go. I wasn't ready.
Supergirl in Crypto 2.
The master of the universe. That's what you want to see.
Oh, well, that is not out yet, but I will definitely go see that the moment it's available.
I see. Well, what did you watch then?
Well, recently it's that time of year again, and Invincible's back, and I have been watching Invincible Season 4. And let me tell you, so Invincible is, again, amazing. I love Invincible, one of the best animated series in a long time. It is incredibly violent. And let me tell you that episode 5, which is I think it's called, I think You Look Really Bad or something like that, is probably the most violent animated show I've ever seen. There is an incredibly violent fight with the villain Conquest, back for round 2. And again, none of this is a surprise for me because I read the whole comic. So I shouldn't be surprised by some of the things that are happening, but I always am. The story's great still. There was one episode this season that was kind of not from the comics, and it was not as good. So as long as they're sticking to the story, this thing is hitting hard, both literally and figuratively. The story's great, the voice acting's great, the animation is great. It's just, when Invincible's on, it's really all I want to watch. And every time I watch it, it makes me want to go back and watch the old stuff or reread the comic. So I'm just really enjoying the world. It's about halfway through the season, so actually I think there's only 2 episodes left. And then I've got to wait another year. But reportedly, the next season is wrapping up soon, so hopefully it'll be just a year. But I'm still really loving Invincible.
Nice. That's good. Well, I haven't watched it, and I'm so...
You should, but it's very violent.
Well, I'm okay. So I watch a lot of anime, and there's a lot of violence in there as well.
That's true. This is more violent.
You don't know what I have watched. So
that's true.
Some, if it's dark fantasy, etc. I just finished the first season of one of the series. I'm not sure if they're gonna do the second season. The ratings aren't great, but I like them. Anyway, yeah, mine is of course an anime, and I don't have a backlog, but I have watched so many different series that right now, if I start yet another one, and then there's a new season that comes out, I'm just gonna be like, now there's some anime that will have new seasons this year, or started new seasons this year, so that I just,
including One Piece. There's a new episode now.
Yeah, well, with One Piece at least, at least I kind of remember what happened, but with all sorts of different anime that have similar traits. I'm like, what did happen in the last season? I don't really remember anymore because there's so much. Anyway, mine is Release That Witch.
Okay.
Yes, that's the one. Very cool animation, and this is actually Chinese anime.
Whoa!
Yes, and it has it didn't release all the episodes yet, and this is about a um, basically a person being reborn into a prince, and
Okay.
it has this kind of a Middle Ages political drama. How being reborn into prince now, and he has kind of I don't know who he was previously. I didn't really catch
Not a
that.
prince.
Not a prince, yes, but a more let's say a good hearted, a good spirited person. Because now as a prince, he is doing a lot of good stuff, and Release That Witch. Basically, there are people who have powers, magical powers, and so he releases one of the witches who
Ah,
to be burned or hanged, whatever, executed, and she helps him deal with all the stuff. And there's only a few episodes out, and maybe 7, maybe 8, I don't know. But this is about this kind of a political drama, wars, corruption, and witches.
got it. These are a few of my favorite things.
Yeah, but it's and I think he was it was a nowadays man who was reborn as a prince because he knows about all of the technological advancements. Like, for example, he could produce cement. Like, they built walls with rocks, and
Cement.
he introduced
Yes, got it.
sorry, cement. Yeah, and also makes gunpowder and
Okay.
weapons with that. So because he has that knowledge of that technology, so he is from the future in a
Has
sense.
that power. Got it.
Yes. So that's also cool how he introduces new stuff and hey, medals in politics and it just it's hard to explain it right now because even just one season hasn't ended yet, and what it brings up to. Because right now, right now it's the story is so in the middle that you just need to watch it. It's interesting. It's
well.
how it's animated as well. I really like it. You can see from the poster, it's beautiful, interesting, and kind of
Burn that witch. Got it.
Kind of violent in a sense. Maybe
Very well.
not that violent than Invincible. All right. Let's get to the next topic, which is recent plays. And here we go.
All right. Well, since we're talking about card games, I recently discovered a card game. I discovered it on Board Game Arena and then purchased the physical copy. So it turned out to be right what I was looking for. And the game, I had to write it down because, oops, I've dropped my paper on the ground. The name is Massive Verse Fighting Card Game. Massive, it's Massive hyphen Verse.
Huh? Massive what?
Hyphen Verse.
How do you hyphen?
You write a hyphen. It's that horizontal dash.
Oh. This? No.
I can't.
Whoops.
It's too small for me to see.
Uh,
No, just the regular. Yeah, that one. You have to write massive, the full word, though. MASSIVE.
Yes.
Hyphen.
Yes.
Verse. VER.
Yeah, verse. You mean verse?
There you go.
Oh. The massive. Okay, I got you now. I heard verse. I heard verses.
Oh,
And
that's not what I said. All right. The Massiverse fighting card game. So,
got it.
this is a card game, by the way. And in it, it's a very fast two-player dueling card game. Now, you know I love two-player dueling card games.
Well,
That's sort of my favorite style. In
who
this
knew?
one, you have a hand of cards. I think it's 8 of them, and they're each in a different suit, a different color, and you're going to select one simultaneously, face down, and you'll reveal them. And each card has one that it will counter, and if your card is countered, it goes back to your hand and does nothing. But you get to use it again the next round if you want. If your card is not countered, you'll do some damage, and then it will go to an exhaust pile. And you have one card called Rest, and that will let you pull your cards back, but every player has a card called Weapon. It's the red one, and if you play the weapon when somebody plays the Rest, you kill them instantly. So there's sort of some thinking, and it's very much one of those what am I going to play type of a games. And so there's the countering, and as you can sort of see what someone has had in their exhaust pile, so you can sort of figure out what they can and can't counter, and you're really trying to time your abilities. Each character has a simple ability, and then another card they can save up for, and when they hit certain energy thresholds, they'll get it back. You win by either wiping your opponent's health out or doing that execute kill if you happen to use your weapon card when they play their Rest. Again, it's about a 5-minute game, but it's the kind of 5-minute game that you'll set up and play another 5-minute game of. And after you've played 2 or 3, well, then it feels like a full game. This is exactly the kind of game that I needed. I didn't know I needed. I don't know much about the Massiverse. They're heroes that clearly exist somewhere, but I don't have any connection with them. I might have to find them out, though.
Okay,
That's what I've been playing.
I see. All right. Yeah, no, nothing about it.
Yeah, it's very small. And if you wanted to try it, it's on Board Game Arena, so you can play it there for free.
I see. All right. My pick for recent play is Emberleaf.
Ah, I wonder where you got
Yes.
that game. It's a card dancing game.
It's in a theme in today's topics theme in a sense. Well, we have a better picture
mean-
here.
If this one counts, I'm going to revise my list and put Summoner Wars on.
No, this one doesn't count. Anyway, that's why I put it in recent plays instead of the other. Anyway,
Got it.
this is a game. About card dancing mechanism. But basically, you dictate the gameplay by playing cards down on your playmat, and these cards will have skill symbols and abilities. And some abilities work instantly. Some abilities work when you choose basically another action on your turn. Instead of playing a card, you can slide all the cards on your mat to the left, and their sliding abilities will activate. As you can maybe see here, or maybe it's better here. Some of them are abilities that work only when it slides off your mat. So some of them are permanent abilities, etc. Some of them are activation abilities. When you activate a card as a free action, you get to use its abilities. So it's an interesting mechanism. And what you're gonna do is you play cards and you walk, you build, you fight in a sense on this board. You want to build the different buildings that will require different resources that you will also collect by playing cards. Everything is based on the card play, and then you put down the citizens from your player board. They're like rats and owls and frogs and whatever, and they also have different tracks, but bonus tracks. When you put out a citizen, you get a bonus, and you want to build up. And basically, you score the most points by getting the objective cards, which you can, which you're gonna get from those bonuses that you acquire, or maybe cards. Basically, everything is based on that. So every something will allow you to pick up something all the time, and you're trying to kind of strategically place cards and slide them down so they will be the most effective to you. For example, if you place a card that has a sliding action, if you place it on the leftmost side, it's going to slide down next time you do the sliding, and that's it. If you place it to the rightmost of the play mat, each time you're going to slide, it's going to activate its ability. So that's your choice. The production is really good. I mean, the copy you gave me is a deluxeified copy with those play mats. Really cool. I like it. The idea of so basically the fighting is basically there are tokens that have an attack power. Well, they never attack you. They just are on those paths between the settlements where you want to move around, and they just add 1 to the difficulty of movement. They basically do nothing else. It's boring in a sense, but you can fight them off. And by fighting them off, you move down the war track, and eventually you'll be able to grab a trophy. And so the game ends when all the trophies are gone.
Yeah.
And there's another in-game condition as well, but basically this. And there's another way you can grab a trophy if you fill out the whole settlement with buildings. The problem I have with this is that while let's say let's say I'm gonna the token to move down the war track is a shared resource, basically. Yes. So and while yes, you kill those things, you get points from them, and then you move down the track and get bonuses. On the other hand, there is basically when there's one space left. I don't know if it's anywhere. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So basically, here. On the last space, if somebody moves it to the last space, they get a trophy. And that's where I have a problem. I mean, I can contribute most of the fighting to this track, and then somebody just uses the last one to, grab the trophy. I don't find it very...
It's semi-cooperative.
Yeah. And the same is with building up the settlements, is that you can build up everything except just one building, and then I go in and build that last building. I get a trophy. Of course, the thing is that it balances out in a sense that if you are not really building there, you're not getting bonuses. Each time you build and you build a different building, the group of different buildings will score you points based on how many different buildings you have there. And there's the most of 5 buildings. You can build buildings from the common market. You can build buildings from your own play mat. So you can, get extra storage space. You can get extra icons, extra build and attack actions, etc. Extra spaces on the play mat. Yeah, but, well, the thing is we played it 2-player, which is not a great amount of players because everybody was in their own corner, in a sense. At some point, when we build up our corners, we had to, meet somewhere. But it's solitaire multiplayer in a sense. Yes, you have this common ground, those settlements, but in the end, it's just not much of interaction there, except just you took the spot I wanted to take. You took you build a settlement there where I wanted to build a settlement, and I could just be nasty because you want your people to be connected, so basically next to each other, and I could build up the way that I'm gonna block you off, and you'll have the small village, and then you need to build up again. The other thing is that it's kind of like a deck building in a sense. When the cards slide off the playmat, you get them back into your hand, and you can get new cards. But the only way you get new cards is that you put out those villagers, 4 different villagers. It's just a bonus for putting out a villager, and it's very limited. You basically get 4 extra cards during the whole play. And the person I was playing with was like, I just want something like an action to be able to buy new cards. Like, why isn't it there? Well, the deck is, and you had, there were extra hero packs, etc., more cards, and I felt kind of the same. It felt very limited in what you can acquire. It basically drags you with you. You know, it's not like it's your choice, but everything is so fixed, so tight that yeah, we're all gonna get that bonus. And you know, if there would have been more choice, and the objective cards, the problem with them is that they're random and they can be they're kind of unbalanced. Some of them give you more points, but so situational, so hard to make. Like because you can grab the objective cards when there's a certain symbol that you know uncover, and then you can grab it. But let's say you build up, you don't know. So the object cards they reset in a sense. The new cards come out. You know, when you grab one, a new card comes out. You never know what cards will come out. And in this case, with build up and mid game, I can be lucky because I build it that way without knowing that that objective will come up. So I can get points from that. And the other person is just unlucky because he built the other way, because like the game is not about, I don't know, it just, this felt weird. The objectives felt really weird. If that would be like from the beginning of the game, we choose out of 3 cards, we choose 2 objectives. Like usually, you know, like your hidden mission or whatever, when you get extra points for that. Like in Wingspan, you get those objective cards, and then you can get more. But like you kind of you give yourself a goal to move forward. You know, to move towards something. Here, you just start building up, and if you're lucky, you get the objective, you get the points at the end of the game. You know, yeah, the rulebook is great. Is one thing. The rest of the game, it's not a bad game, but just too polished, maybe.
Yeah. I had a similar reaction to it. For me, my problem was I didn't really care about what was happening on the board. That part wasn't all that much fun for me. It was difficult to see where your characters were. The sort of spot for them wasn't quite as obvious as it could have been. There was some sort of visual unclarity about the sort of villages on the board. And I enjoyed kind of the place and slide mechanisms. That part was fun. I just wish it had a different game to go with it. Because I also didn't, I mean, this was fine. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it either. Which is why I was ready to part with it when you were here.
The card play it was the heart of this game, but the card play itself wasn't enough. Like the abilities were, there weren't many different abilities. They were just combinations of them, but it's not much variety. Like I would have loved to have like more crazier abilities then, and be able to buy those cards.
Yep.
But if you take out the board, it's a half-baked game then. It's not
exactly.
really.
But I didn't love the other half of it, was kind of my problem. So
yeah. The card play was a good one. But I hope they learn from that and maybe use this mechanism in another game. It could be an interesting deck building game where you acquire cards, you slide them, you do something on the board as well, let's say, but something different. Like more of a deck building than this weird combination. All right, let's get to the next topic, which is crowdfunding.
Woohoo! Woohoo! All right, are we ready?
Okay. Yeah.
So my project that I'm talking about is on Kickstarter, the good old-fashioned Kickstarter, and this is Barrage Earned Authority.
Okay.
And this is the kind of Kickstarter that I like because I know exactly what I'm getting. It's more stuff for Barrage. Now, This company
Ah, here we
has
go.
some of the slowest delivery in the business. I don't know why it takes them quite as long as it does, but it's more of the companies that you can play with, sort of not the companies, the sort of side executives that give you sort of your special powers for the game. It's just more of those. And that is going to, these sort of impact significantly how you end up playing Barrage. It'll kind of give you
Uh-huh.
some of the core special abilities of your game, and this is more of those.
Okay. I don't really remember Barrage. I mean, like, I remember
You can
the
also get
core
the
game.
all-in version if you would like a huge box to contain Barrage. I already have the huge box, so I'm not going to buy that.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
remember how it's played, and it's
so
your yeah.
it's more stuff, and it's kind of the more stuff that's impactful. If you remember in Barrage, as you'll remember from when you've played it,
Oh
you
yeah,
have sort
yeah,
of
yeah. Okay.
your nation, and your nation
Yeah,
gives you some special abilities, and those are gonna those vary significantly, but subtly from sort of player color to player color, and then you also have your executive officer, and that one is going to give you starting resources, I believe, but also some significant special abilities. And that's the sort of easiest thing to change from game to game. And so this really just gives you more variety for that. If you had played it too
yeah,
many times.
yeah. I remember it. For me, Barrage it was like overdone. Just too many gears, too many pieces. It should have been a bit smaller, a more cleaner game for me. I like the idea of yeah, building up those barrages and how the water, kind of goes down
Mm-hmm.
and controlling that. The rest, yeah, I played a long time ago. I didn't really care about that. I think I played it on the cruise
You did.
with Norwegians or Swedish. I don't know.
I
I
don't know
think
about that.
Norwegian.
It wasn't with me. It's been a while since I've played Barrage, although I've been kind of itching to get it back out again. And this might help me do so.
Yeah.
I don't know that you need quite everything for this game, but if you already
Well, yeah,
have it, this is just a sort of this is the sort of lightest, easiest type of expansion because it's going to be small, but add a lot of impact and variety if you want sort of more for your game.
yeah. But for those who like great art, beware. You might be disappointed. There's a lot of
Oh, there's not
brown,
any art
gray.
in here.
I mean, the box is one of the most boring boxes ever. Even in person, like in this picture, yeah, in person, when you look at it, you're like, why it's so gray? Is it like, did the colors fade out on the shelf being on, exposed to his sun? Um, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, if you like
Yeah,
Barrage, get it.
it's
Oh,
more Barrage. So the all in is a lot, and it's a huge box. I'll tell you that.
and you get
This
cats,
is the kind you could probably put a child inside, um, but and not even a
We do
baby.
not. We do not indulge. We we are not
It's
responsible
kind of
for
a
any.
discount coffin. Um, anyway,
Gosh.
that's what I have for us.
Yeah. Well, let me save the day a bit and then add some color. It minus
Save
on
the
game
day.
found. Yes.
Ooh, onward.
20 strong nemesis. Oh,
It's not out
see,
yet.
you might like
It
it.
starts this. It starts this week.
I see. I see. Anyway, um, where's mine?
I'm well aware of that one.
Yeah, I could choose Brass Pittsburgh, but I'm not really interested in Brass anyway. And I saw this small game. I don't know if it's gonna be any good. It's gonna end soon, so I like the art, and it's as I understand, it's a deck building where you also move around. Let me see the rules, maybe. Yeah, as you can see, yeah, you move around. There's some kind of a threat phase. You do skill tests and yeah, roll dice, and it's. I try to find a game in a theme of today's episode, but yeah, I like the art, and did it say roguelike? deck building game or something. So that might be interesting. I don't know much about it. As you can see, the rules here, yeah. You test,
Sure.
strike, damage, play card. That's it. Maybe you acquire new cards. So what does it say here? Unique abilities, cooperative roguelike game. Yeah, and it's cooperative. That's what interested me as well. Infinitely playable campaign. Well, not sure about that.
Campaign, but
and it's human art. See?
Okay.
Well, yeah.
I care about that a lot less, but
yeah, we'll see. I'm not really backing games nowadays. I did make a mistake, Well, I think I late pledged that. The only thing that I thought I think I need the deluxe edition is the Dragon Eclipse, the new Dragon
Eclipse. You did go for it. The Great
I didn't really want to because I'm not finished with this game yet. Yeah,
I haven't. By the time it comes, you could be.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I thought, like, I'm still gonna buy it. But if I buy a retail copy, I will not have those foiled packs that you open them up and the miniatures that you cannot really distinguish from each other because all the dragons look the same. But still, I don't want a downgraded copy of a new Dragon Eclipse.
No, of course not.
If I have this one. And yeah, I made several mistakes. I bought. I didn't. I didn't back it on Kickstarter, but I saw it was an okay price for a deluxe copy of Valheim, and I had to go for it. I played it twice. I played it twice on the cruise, so I know what I'm getting into. Good. So I really like it.
Try before you buy.
Dusk Runners ending soon. See if you're interested.
I don't think I am, but I'm sure it'll be for someone.
Okay. All right, let's get to the next. Yeah, let's get to. See, all add-ons included the Mythic Beast, only $130 plus tax plus shipping.
Sure, plus about 2.5 years.
Well, let me see. Let me see. March 2027. Just a year.
I've heard that before.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get to the next topic, which is buy, try, goodbye.
All right. Well, I hope you haven't played these. It didn't look like you had. I did check. I've got 3 card games. Yes, these are card games.
Hearts, Spades, and Diamonds. I don't know.
All right. The first of these card games is a game that's a card game called Mage Wars Academy. Now, Mage Wars Academy, this is an older one at this point. It's a card-only version of Mage Wars. And so you're going to have your mage and your binder of spells, and you're going to be casting them and playing them and trying to take your mage's health down to 0. It's sort of a standard type card game. However, what you're doing here is you've got sort of the hook is that you have this spell book and you're able to kind of go through and select just the right one for just the right moment. And there are a variety of cards from magic spells to equipment to familiars that will fight for you, but it is all the joy of Mage Wars boiled down to a cards-only version.
Yeah, interesting is that I have owned this. I don't really remember playing it, or maybe I started playing it, didn't really finish, didn't figure out the rules, and then that's why I didn't mark it as played. So
I will say that this is a hard game to pick up because, first of all, there's a lot of rules, but secondly, you have to kind of know the entire contents of your spell book so that you can pick the right card at the right moment, which, a game that you just open and play, like, Summoner Wars or something, that you just draw, you're only looking at 5 cards at a time, whereas this one you're looking at, 40. Anyway,
Oh yeah,
that's
I think yeah, we started learning it, but didn't really play through. So
very well.
legit pick.
The second one I have is much smaller. This is Castle Combo. You even saw this being played, but didn't join us. This is a small card game where you are going to be making a 3x3 grid. Each round, you're going to be taking a card. There's 2 rows of 3 cards, and you're going to take a card from one row, or you can spend a resource to activate the row below or above it if you'd rather. And you're basically just going to be placing them, and they're going to want to be either in specific spaces or want different things around them. A lot of varieties. This game's real fast and really quite enjoyable. It's one that I've had a lot of success with, especially because it's so small and easy to learn. So the opposite of Mage Wars Academy. And the third game I have for you is a card game. This is a card game version of a video game. If you want to spend a lot more and have a big table presence of it, this game is Slay the Spire. Slay the Spire is a great game. I really enjoy it. The only problem is that I don't know any instance when I wouldn't rather play the video game because it does all the setup for you. But it is a great little kind of it's cooperative. You can play. The advantage of the board game version is you can play with someone else. You can't really do that on the video game. But you're doing, you've got cards and there's monsters and you're going to play all your cards. And you can see what the monsters are going to do, so you can kind of react to them. And then slowly as you go through the campaign, you're going to add new cards to your deck or upgrade the ones that you have. And you're trying to make it to a boss and beat the boss. It is a fascinatingly addictive video game. And the board game version does it really well. I'm just not sure it's necessary. So those are your 3 card games for Buy, Try, Goodbye.
Yeah. With Slay the Spire, I've seen videos of a video game, basically playing a video game. I thought about buying it. The problem I have with these games as video games, I don't really like when it's a card game, like Hearthstone also tried, etc. If it's a card game, I want to play it as a board game. I understand.
You can.
I understand that there's like you can forgo setup, and video game is much faster and addicting. But each time I look at them, like no, if it's a board game or a card game, it should be in a physical form, not a video game. But yeah, I haven't gotten to either one, so maybe I can try the video game and then if somebody has it, and then.
Or you could try the board game if you come visit me.
Yeah. So I think Slay the Spire sounds the most interesting to me. So it's going to be a buy.
Woohoo!
Yeah, and I like upgrading cards between missions or something like that. Basically, you can get new upgrades. The try will be Castle Combo, because with card games, I want them to be easier to digest, quicker. I'm not really interested in, this placement stuff. Oh, this is placed next to it, and so it scores you that. It's not one of my favorite mechanisms, but still, it seems to be quick enough because of Mage Wars Academy. So I owned it previously and never really played it. So that means I didn't chew through the rules, and it was a bit too much. And I think as of now, this game is quite old and probably outdated mechanism-wise. If somebody would revise it, take this game and then make a new edition of it, simplifying, biting off all of the unnecessary stuff and hundreds and hundreds of different status tokens, etc. So that might be good. It's the same with many games, like for example through the ages as well. I would love to have a simplified version as a card game through the ages.
Wait, does that count as a card game? I could have put that on my list.
Streamlines it. I don't know if through the ages counts as a card. Well, we're going to talk about this topic.
Okay.
Anyway. So Mage Wars Academy is a good buy.
All right. Well, it sounds like you've already said goodbye to it. So
yeah, It's going to be a second one.
All right.
All right. Now let's get to the topic of the day, which is top 5 card games.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to explain this one, in order to kind of limit the card game is very broad term. Some people say this is a card game. Some people say no, this is a board game. What is this? How do you distinguish card game from a board game? And I came up with the idea that the games we select should be all about the mechanisms should be played through cards. If the tokens and tiles, etc., are allowed if they are just helping, if they just help tracking, health, resources, etc. For example, it can be a card game and there could be resource tokens. That's fine. You're just counting how much stuff you have. You're not really using it as a mechanism, placing it down. If it's a card game where you also have meeples and you place meeples down, it's not going to qualify for a card game here. And if it has dice, for example, as Kyle's favorite game, Summoner Wars, you roll dice for a combat, which is another mechanism on top of a card play. In this case, it does not qualify for this list. So just to limit our choices, because otherwise there's just too many choices.
To limit our choices, to limit my choices, you mean? But that's fine.
Well, but that's what I think is a card game. Card game must be all about cards. If there are the other mechanisms, it's a hybrid and it's a board game now.
I think I was well behaved. I was told specifically that Ashes and Summoner Wars were ineligible. I assumed Through the Ages would be as well.
I don't know. I don't remember if you if
there's a whole lot of engine building there and moving stuff off. That game has a whole board where you're moving cubes and stuff around.
Yeah, I mean, if the other components are used as mechanisms as well, then yeah, if it's just tracking and there's a board that you play cards on, it can be a card game. That's fine.
Mm-hmm. Through the Ages is much more than a card game, I would say. So I also excluded it from the list.
I see. All right. Then let's get to number 5.
All right. Okay, well, I think I was well behaved with the restrictions that I was given. I think each of these games is primarily or even exclusively a card game. And the first one I have for us is Tag Team. Tag Team is a game you have played. This is a game where you have cards, and you're going to be... So you're building up your little deck of attacks and special abilities, and each round you're going to draw 3 cards and slot one in somewhere among this this list of cards, and then you're going to be revealing the cards one at a time, always in the same order, trying to take down the opponent's health.
Yeah.
Ultimately, this game really is all about these decks of cards. That is 100% of what's going on. But the fun of the game is all the different abilities and sets of cards that each of the different fighters is going to have. So that is my number 5 card game, Tag Team. Also one of my favorite games from last year.
Okay, yeah. I think so, yeah, because the cubes that you use, little stuff, it's just for tracking and marking down stuff. I don't consider it to be essential to, it's not a separate mechanism in a sense.
It's not.
It kind of is, but on the other hand, yeah, it's a card game.
There we go.
It's really hard nowadays, because if you go with pure card games where there's only cards, it's hearts and spades, but otherwise nowadays many card games have extra tokens to help track, and place some statuses and etc. But the status was given by a card that had this text on it, So that's what I mean.
There's also no dice. There's no figures moving around a board.
Okay. All right, and I added the names of games to my numbers as well. My number 5 is a classic nowadays, and it is a card game. It has a few other components, yet again, just for tracking, and it's Seven Wonders Duel.
Yeah, I can see
Seven Wonders
this one.
Duel is definitely a card game. It has this board that you track the war or whatever, and extra tokens. But I do not really consider it because everything that you do on this board and the tokens you get are based on the cards that you play.
Yep.
So you take cards from a pyramid-like shape and you place it in your area, and you are collecting symbols as resources so you can gain more cards through that, or you collect swords so you can go on that track. You can win this way if you overpower your opponent. um, there are some wonders that you can build, and etc etc. So some cards, when you take the cards, it's a common pyramid that you both take cards from. It's a two-player game, and once the face down cards are uncovered from the other cards that were on top of it, they are revealed now, and there's a little bit of that tension. What is underneath those cards,
Right.
Otherwise, a
Yep.
very simple card game can be really fast. 3 different ways how to win.
Or
So
4 or
yeah,
5
it's
if you add the expansions.
well, yeah. But yeah, I feel like, well, base game. If you want to try it, you haven't still tried Someone's Duel. Go with the base game.
Oh,
Play
absolutely.
quite a few times. It's the simplicity and the streamlined nature of it is great. The expansions add a little bit of that convoluted extra
Yeah,
mechanisms.
neither of them is really essential. I play with them about a third of the time. So, but the base game's pretty solid here.
All right, let's get to number 4.
All right, my number 4 is another game you have played. We're well, at least for now, we're in games you've played. This is another game about cards. This is a game
Mm-hmm.
of cooperative, limited communication where you're trying
Mm-hmm.
to stay alive as long as you can and eventually achieve some goals. This game is Eternal Decks. I pronounced it correctly.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Eternal Decks is the cover isn't really a looker, but what you have
The whole
here,
game isn't the looker.
there are a lot of cards here. So each row of cards has a different rule that you're trying cooperatively to follow, and so you're going to be placing cards. The prime rule is the same color can never be next to the same color, and the same number can never be next to the same number. But sometimes you have to play them in ascending order, descending order, any order, or sort of like mirrored order. It really depends from game to game. And you only have a very limited deck of cards. And if you can't play a card on your turn, you lose. So you're going to have to sort of time how you complete these rows, because the person who completes the row gets some energy, right? They get to pick one of these other decks of cards, shuffle it up, and add it to their deck. And so then they'll have more life and can keep the ball going longer. But they also add a negative effect, which will change what kinds of cards you can play. For example, nobody can play blue cards anymore until somebody takes one of their actions to play certain sets of cards to kind of nullify that effect. And really, you're going to keep going like that until either you win or lose. And then there are different iterations of it that are going to sort of change the way you're trying to win, the things you're trying to do. But it's all kind of the same core experience, which is playing these cards, and you're not supposed to be talking about what you have. So you can kind of signify, ooh, I'd really like to play here, but not say I've got a red 7. Uh, and that's what you have.
Yeah.
This one's still kind of hard to find, but I really enjoy it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's a good game. It is a card game. The other tokens are basically there for tracking stuff.
I mean, well, what
Basically,
is this other than a card game? It's all about cards.
it's all about cards. Yeah, and the one problem I have with why I would not pick it up right now is just I want it to be redone artistically. Well, it's an interesting. It's weird in a sense artistically, but it's just yeah. I want a great art on this game. The cards themselves, these cards can stay the same. The rest, these different monsters and stuff could be redone. I don't know if it gets a new look, I would buy it.
Yeah, I like one thing I like about the cards though is they're all
It's
different,
stylish.
but they're all very visually clear, right? It doesn't matter what the artwork in the middle is. You know that blue 5 is a blue 5, so all the information
Yeah,
about
that's
it is
true.
very visually clear. You can either take or leave the artwork on the beasts. I personally enjoy it, although I do not like the cover. The cover doesn't really make the game look like the cover does not look like the game that's inside.
Yeah, yeah. It has more colors. It's colorful. I mean, it's stylish. It's gonna be somebody's gonna love this art, but I want
I
something
enjoy
else.
it, but yeah, there we go.
All
Another card
right.
game. So far, I'm doing well.
Yep. My number 4. Well, my picks are basically I just went for what are my highest rated card games. I went for that,
Okay,
not
it's
for
a novel approach.
yeah, just took the highest rated ones and put them on the list. Though most of them I don't have anymore, but would gladly play again. My number 4 is a cooperative card game that you can play competitively, but it's as well. It's all about cards, and it's called The Lost Expedition.
Okay, that is
Very
that one's not been on the list for a while.
yeah. Well, it's while it has some extra elements like basically health resources, etc. This is just for tracking your food source and etc. It's a card game, and you move the meeple on the track. It's basically you play cards that give you symbol to move. You must move to the last card, and then you win the game. And at least one of your people must survive, and you find the golden city of Z. You play cards, and they have different symbols. You must play them at first in order of numbers, and then during the day and during the night, in basically in the order you play them. And you must play them strategically, so because you have to resolve all of the symbols on the cards, you must resolve cards from left to right. Most of them are going to do bad things to you. The yellow, mandatory, you must have the yellow ones, and if you have those symbols like these two symbols, it means add 2 more cards to your have, which can be difficult to go. You have to spend food. You have some symbols on the cards. You must sometimes spend health on people. The red ones, you have to choose one of the red ones events. The blue ones are optional. Sometimes they're beneficial, but sometimes losing another health for 2 food can be crucially bad. And you must feed your people. So if you cannot feed, they lose health. They lose even more health. So yeah, it's just all about. And the other thing is you cannot communicate what cards you have. You can abstractly say that, oh guys, we're in trouble. But you cannot say what numbers, what symbols are on the cards. You just have to play them. So
Yep.
it's a kind of the same as Eternal decks. It's it's limited communication,
Sure.
and going to make
Yeah.
a dick of a move.
You like this game a lot more than I do, although I had a good time with it back in the day. Maybe I might have to
Mm.
dust it off again.
Yeah, I just love its simplicity.
Hmm.
I just like how just pull it out. You don't have to explain that many rules. It's just few symbols.
That's true. Hmm.
If it's filled, you gain. If it's unfilled, you give out.
Right.
And that's it. 5 minutes explaining at most, and then even less, and then just go.
There you
All
go.
right, let's get to number 3.
Hooray! All right, my number 3 is the most most
Tell me a
cardy of
joke.
card games. A
Tell me a
joke?
joke first. Yeah, it's we're gonna have this kind of a sometimes some random jokes. You have to tell me a joke.
Uh, uh,
You
um,
can.
I okay. Um, why do sharks smile all the time?
Oh, why?
They want you to be their chum.
Good,
Okay.
good, good.
Now let's
Let's
go
get to
on
number 3.
to the most
Yeah.
cardy of card games. This is a game that can be played with a regular deck of cards, although you can also buy a special one. This game is Regicide. Regicide is a cooperative game or a solo game, and the goal of this game is you have a hand of cards. Each turn you have to play one, and it's going to do damage. You're trying to take out all of the face cards. They each have a certain number of health and a certain number of damage they're going to do to you. If you each suit has a special ability, diamonds let you draw, hearts refill your deck, spades block damage, and clubs will do double damage to the enemy. However, the enemy is immune from its own suit's ability. So when you're fighting a diamond, you can't draw any cards, and you've got to sort of plan for all of that. At its core, that is the game. If you're unable to play cards, you die, you lose, you're sad. There's the legacy version as well. The legacy version adds a whole bunch of different kind of modular rules and scenarios you can play through, but doesn't stray too far from the core. This is, again, it's the kind of game you could download the rules for free online and pull out a regular deck of cards and play, or you can buy one of the nicer versions that are available. Either way, this is a great game. It is probably my most played pure card game because back in the day I played this a lot because it's great solo, and it's the kind of game, if you forgot to bring a game on your trip, you can always find a deck of cards. But Regicide is just a fantastic. It's the best game to play with a regular deck of cards.
All right. Yeah. Okay. My number 3 is a game that you might. I don't know if how can you not consider it a card game because it is a card game, but you might say
Uh-oh.
something otherwise. No, it's fine. It's fine because
It's not
it's,
Nemesis, is it?
it's the Grim Masquerade,
Okay.
and Grim Masquerade is a card game. It's a hidden it's a hidden roles game where you're trying to figure out who everybody is. There are a few tokens on the board, but it's all about tracking stuff. The whole game revolves around you have roles, which are also cards. And you can be a Red Riding Hood, and somebody else might be Rumpelstiltskin, and you try to basically you're gonna draw cards, and these are different artifacts. And you have to decide, the first card you draw, you have to decide either you keep it for yourself or give it to somebody else. And the second card then will be another choice that you didn't make. And you play those cards in front of you, those artifacts. You have a boon and a bane. A boon is something that you want to collect. If you collect 3 of that, you win the round. Bane is something you don't want to have. So if you collect 2 of that, you're out of the round. You can still earn extra points. But yeah, that's the whole idea. It revolves around just taking those cards, deciding what to do with them. Sometimes giving another person a second copy of the same artifact will reveal information or bust them. But then, if let's say, for example, you decide to give away the first card you drew, then the second card you must keep whatever you draw, and sometimes you might bust yourself. So this is the Grim Masquerade. It's great, but it wasn't supported really, and I don't know why. I think it's a very clever small game, and I showed it to many non-gamers or casual gamers, people who don't really play board games, and they were really enamored with it. It really fits this kind of a mass market type game.
All right. Well, it's your list.
It fits all of the descriptions I gave. What here is not?
I have said nothing.
Mechanism wise,
I've said nothing.
Mechanism? Okay, then it's a card game.
I'll just feel better about the entries later on my list.
We'll see. We'll see. If some components are mechanisms, nope, disqualified. All right, let's get to number 2.
All right. The way I know that this one's a card game is because 100% of the pieces are cards. This is another one of my very frequently played card games. It's a game that I enjoy. You've not played. You've seen it played a lot of times. Victor and I like it a lot. This game is Forest Shuffle. Forest Shuffle is a game where you're going to be building up a hand of cards and then using them to pay for other cards, which you're putting down to place on the table. And you're going to be scoring different things based upon what you have. Some cards will score, an oak will score if it happens to have a squirrel. No, that's not true. The squirrel scores if it's in an oak. The oak will score if you have all the other different types of trees in your forest. You're building up this forest. The forest is made entirely of cards. And there's a lot of a strong hand management aspect as well, because, of course, you're limited. It's a hard limit of 10 cards. If you have 10 cards, you don't draw anymore. So you want to, on your turn, you're either going to take 2 cards or you're going to play 1. And it's going to continue until the winter cards start to show up. There's 3 winter cards in the deck. Once 2 of them have come, no problem. But once the third one shows up, the game is over instantly. Nobody does anything else. There's a couple of expansions. Each one adds in more different types of tree cards and creatures. There's a separate version called Dartmoor, which I like a lot less. But the sort of core version of Forest Shuffle is really enjoyable. And it's 100% cards other than that track. And that track really just keeps track of what cards are available.
Okay. Yeah, it's just never interested me for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, you never gave this one a try, and that's fine. You don't have to try everything. But this one is exactly the kind of game that I enjoy. It really feels like a much bigger game, even though it is just a deck of cards.
Well, and it's not 100% pure only cards. There's a board.
That board is unnecessary. That is just a place to keep track of the 10 cards that are available for drawing.
But now it's 99% of a card game.
Play without it. There was a board in Grim Masquerade.
Was there? I don't remember.
I thought there was.
Oh, there is a board, yes. Anyway, let's go to my number 2. And I'm going to override Kyle's Forest Shuffle here.
Oh, I can take it away.
Oh, thank you. My number 2 is definitely a card game. And it's Combo Fighter. Dun, 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 dun. It's Combo Fighter. And Combo Fighter is a card game. And I do have this Plot Maker edition. It's a fighting card game. You play cards, it's rock, paper, scissors, but basically the colors, yellow beats blue, blue beats red, etc. And you both you have decks of cards, which is also your HP, your life meter, and you both play a card face down, reveal, like rock paper scissors. Who wins then can play more cards into its combo, so it's combo fighter. And the they have the symbols on top, which is a color, and then as you can see, there are more symbols on the sides of the cards. These are the cards that can be played next to it, and so on and so on and so on. You can also try to create special combos that will have more damage. And you have the small tile of ability, but basically it's all about just play cards, reveal them, combo, move on. It's a very fast game. I like how simple and fast it is. And you can play 2-3 matches in a row. I just want to have more different fighters.
Yeah, I wish this game had been supported more.
Let me see, the Plot Maker edition. I think
No, they just really printed everything that was in the first edition from whatever other company it was. But yeah, I don't know. It kind of came and went and then came and went again.
Yeah, the pack 4 is from 2025 because it's a very small company.
Yeah. I just wish, but again, the pack 4, those packs were all in the original set. So nothing really new came out. And that makes me sad because the game was actually pretty good.
Yeah. But I would love to get even these 4. I mean, I have the first one. The other 3 packs, okay. That would be enough. Okay. Let's get to number 1, and maybe we'll fight, but we'll see.
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my number 1 is Summoner Wars. Except, no, I was told that wasn't allowed, so I will take it off the list. But it would be because it's a card game. But my number 1 that is just a card game is, and I was real careful, I looked at it. I got it out and played it just to be careful. This is a game that I've been playing a whole lot of lately. It is a Deep Dark Hole. It is a living card game, and that is Marvel Champions. Marvel Champions.
It's a card game.
You are taking a character. Your character is made up of a deck of cards. You can do some deck kind of construction if you'd like, and kind of build custom decks. But yes, it's definitely in the title.
If it's in the title, it's allowed. If it would have been Summer Wars, the card game, then
really everything is either a card or just like a life tracker. And you're keeping track of the damage.
Allowed, of course.
You're trying to take out a boss, and that boss is going to be one of any number. There's so many of them now, and there's at least 50 different heroes at this point. But each one, you can either play it as a stock deck, which is my favorite way, or if you want to, the people who really get into it can kind of, mix and match cards. But again, each character has a deck of cards, which is going to be 15 or so specific to that hero, and then others that are filled in from kind of a bank of cards of a different type of aspect. Like you can be aggressive, or you can be all about protection. Up to you. You're going to go in on your turn, you draw a hand of cards, and you're going to play them. Cards are used, they have sort of their value, or they can be used as resources and discarded to kind of fuel other things. You also have an ability that you can use and attack or defend or thwart, which is keeping the villain from achieving their evil aims. There are so many characters now, there's probably too many. We're sort of straying into the characters nobody's heard of. But that's okay. It's still something that I really enjoy. Now, I wish there were a better storage solution. I wish the publisher had been a little kinder in the core box to the players. But regardless, most of the problems have been solved by this point, and it's a great game to get into. And there's so much there that you might feel overwhelmed, but you really don't have to buy everything. You can just take what's interesting and play that. And I like that there's also the Arkham Horror living card game, which is from the same publisher. That one is a little bit more intimidating because you have to play a campaign. The great thing about this is each of the scenarios can just be played as a one-off. You can do a campaign if you want, but if you just want to sit down and play one scenario for, 20, 30 minutes or so, this is great.
Yeah. All right. Okay. My number one is a game that is, it seems bigger, and it definitely has other components, and but they're mostly just to help you out. And I'm talking about the base game. If you add the expansion, it's on the it's on the verge of being a little bit more. Though still, mostly the components are just to help track stuff. But the whole idea, the mechanism that is driving everything, what you do, you just play cards, and you can even buy extra packs that are just additional card packs as mini expansions. And it's Paleo.
Oh, this was on my short list.
Paleo is definitely a card game. The New Beginning adds this farm thing, though this is just to track stuff. Mostly those tokens that you get, you still get them from the cards. You play a card in order to get that token. Everything else is tracking. The skulls are just minus points. The mammoth is a plus point, and then the tokens are just there when you play a card. You can then receive like resources or other tokens that you use. I see this one as being almost not allowed, but I don't know. I felt like it's somewhat there. It's a bit more.
Yeah, I won't argue with this because it was definitely on my short list, and I was going through the analysis myself and getting ready to argue with you about it, and then I decided to put something else on the list instead. This is the sort of whole experience here is going through that deck of cards and sort of looking at the backs, figuring out what you feel like you can trust and what you feel like you can't, learning what's coming in that deck of cards, and everything else is really peripheral.
Yeah, and there are some dice rolling, and I'm like, I kind of doubt myself, but yeah, because it's so rare, it's based on the cards that you get to see the extra difficulty that you get from a card or not. Yeah. But everything else, the objective is a card. What you're gonna do is that you take 2 decks of cards as modules, you combine them, or 3, yes, but mostly 2. You combine them. That's your game. That's the whole game. And you have those objectives that shows on the cards. Everything else is just to make the game bigger. But honestly, it's a smaller game than it looks, and it's a card game. You basically what you have, and I would prefer it as a 2-player game. I would exclusively play it as a 2-player game. Let's say like that,
or solo. Basically, it's very good solo.
Yeah, I don't really play solo, but yeah. So basically, you combine the decks, and then you divide the deck in 2. Give it to your, it's a cooperative game. Give it to another player. You both look at the top 3 cards, at the backs of them. It shows forest, it shows mountains, it shows something else, or a special card. It shows like a cave, or a lion, a wolf, whatever. And then you must choose one of those 3 top cards. You never rearrange the order of those cards. And then you both simultaneously reveal it, and then you do something on a card. It's very simple. It's usually some symbols. You need to match some skills, basically. And skills are symbols that you gain, like these, from tokens and other means. So basically, yeah, it's you continue until the night comes. You have to feed your people, so you should have collected food. If you don't do objectives or during the night, or don't feed your people, you get skulls. If you get to a certain amount of skulls, you're dead. And you have those people with you. You have those people with you. They can also die, which adds a minus point. So it's basically minus 5 points is a defeat, plus 5 points if you get the cards, you resolve them and get that mammoth token, basically.
The cave painting token.
The cave painting token, yeah. And then if you get 5 of those, you win. The expansion adds a farm it just adds some extra stuff to look for. It just adds a new deck you have to play with another deck of cards, and in this case, the cards will give you opportunities to also manage your farm. Yet again, it's all on the cards.
Yep.
And it also gives you more modules and to play with. And as I said, you can buy separate packs of small, the kind of foil packaged cards, like boosters, basically. That I wanted to buy quite a few extra, but they were out of stock. Once I decided to buy them, they were out of stock already. So I don't have all of them, but I'm trying to get all of them. I just try to collect stuff for this game, but I have a few of them extra, and these are like modules that you can either combine with another module or some extra cards that you can just throw into the deck, expanding it. And yeah, honestly, I
you don't really throw them into the deck. They're different modules, so you would mix them.
Some of them are mixed in the general cards. No, some of them.
I think all the little packs I've bought have just been separate modules. Like there's one where you can fight a swarm of bees, or a white whale, and you really would use them as a separate module. Now, I admittedly may not have purchased everything, but
some of them are kind of like just adding more cards. I don't remember exactly. I don't. The new secrets maybe or. Oh, yeah. For example, okay, so it's module L. Yeah, new secrets, challenges. Yeah, some of them might be, just expanding the base cards, but doesn't matter. Anyway, it can be modules as well. And I even bought, I had to buy the insert for it because otherwise you have to store everything in separate.
Oh, that's a nightmare.
Because it is a card game, it has a lot of decks. You want it to have to easily access, like let's say I want module A and module L to combine them, let's say, easily find them. And the funny part is when I bought the insert, it had those glass dividers, right? And I think I told you that it's a wooden insert with glass dividers.
Yep.
But there weren't, and insert is accommodating both the expansion and the base game. At that point, I didn't have any extra decks even. The dividers that were provided with the insert weren't enough even for the base modules to separate all the decks. So I had to go and buy extra dividers of the same type. I found them on some website in order to why would you do that? When you sell me insert with full amount of dividers.
Right.
But they put half of the dividers in it.
That's so you can buy some more.
Yeah, and pay more money on shipping.
Of course.
So anyway, that's my number one, Paleo.
All right, there you go.
What did you think I'm going to put there? Let me put this one. Oops.
I don't know. I didn't really think about your list. I was just mostly I made my short list and then eliminated lots of things because I was convinced they did not meet the requirements document I was given.
Well, so, as I said, there can be other components, but they must not be driving a certain mechanism. For example,
I was well behaved with my list.
Yeah, for example, stockpile is basically mostly cards, but I'm like, there are other mechanism and components, but stockpile is mostly just cards, and Clank, it's a deck building game, it's a card game, but a lot of that movement on the board and interaction with your meeples,
doing that.
it's much more than just a card game. So
yeah,
and I even thought about Vantage, but I don't consider Vantage. It's though it's only books. Basically. Yeah, you have. Well, it's a card game with story element, but in a sense, it is a card game. But I cannot really even, I cannot consider it a card game. It's a story game. It's just definitely. Using cards as a way of going on with the story. Could have been tiles.
Yeah, I had on my short list that didn't make it 51st State / Imperial Settlers.
These are card games, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it got beaten out by something else. So I mean, yeah, there was only room for 5. Uh, but
Silver.
that's silver. I thought about, but ultimately went with something else. So
Yeah, if we go, silver is rather pure card game. Yeah, there's the
Summoner
small extra
Wars.
token, but yeah. Flip
I
side.
also I also eliminated Unmatched. Because you're moving around on a board there.
Oh yeah, Unmatched is not a card game. Yeah.
Well,
In
it
that
is,
sense.
but it wouldn't
In
have met the
that
requirements today.
Yeah. The yeah. Otherwise, it would be just too many choices. And there was also the Elysium. I thought about Elysium. Elysium is a card game, but it has those pillars that are essential mechanism of what pillar are you gonna spend. So it didn't fit the
Yeah,
description I gave.
I agree.
Otherwise, it is a card game. Yeah, I think so.
Very well. There we have it. Several card games.
Yeah. Next time, let's do top 5 board games. No.
Okay. Well, that'll be a boring list. I just did that.
Games that have boards. Ooh, top 5 most beautiful boards.
Well, we can think about that. That might be fun. Anyway, we'll have to see.
Barrage and like Eternal.
Barrage. The Barrage board is actually quite pretty.
Yeah.
The
Gunges
box
of
is
Gunges
not,
of Gunges.
but
Yeah. What else? Yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching, and we'll see you
go play some card
next
games.
time. Go play some. What did I say?
Something.
Cream Masquerade. Cream Masquerade. It's a card game.
Yeah, whatever you say. Have a nice day. See you later. Bye bye.